Hey, this is Dan Shador School of Music, and today's lesson is on triads. Now, there are many forms of different triads or qualities. So we got major triad, minor triad, augmented, and diminished. And then it also gets into seventh chords and all that stuff. But we're just going to focus on the major triads and all the qualities. So major, minor, augmented, and diminished. So with major triads, or with triads in general, they're based on 3 notes. So it's based on the root, third, and the 5th degree of the scale. So if you're in C major scale, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So what you want to do is, so if we're playing a C major triad, you want to go, okay, that's your root. You don't want to play the second. Here would be your third, and that would be E. And then your next note that you want, that would be your 4. So that's your G, that would be your 5th. So that would be a major triad. So we're just going to work on the triads on strings 3, 2, 1. So the first position here is root position. So we want to go to the 3rd string, 5th fret with your ring finger. So that would be your C note. Then you want to put your pinky underneath that on the 5th fret. And then you want to grab your index finger on the high E, and that would be your G. So that would be your root position. Now, what we call first inversion is flipping the notes around. So how the C, which is considered in the bass, we want to flip that around and now put the 3rd in the bass. So here what we want to do is we want to go all the way up to, starting at the 8th fret, you want to bar strings, or the B and E string, which is strings 2 and 1, on the 8th fret. And then you want to put your middle finger on the 9th fret G string. So we got notes from bottom, we got C, G, which is the 5th, and then the 3rd. 3rd, 5th, root. So far we got root position, first inversion. Now, the second inversion, everybody knows that wonderful, spicy D chord. Now what we want to do is we want to take that, slide it, starting out all the way on the 12th fret, which is the double dot. So we want your index finger on the G string, 12th fret, then the middle finger, 1st string, 12th fret, and then your ring finger on the 13th fret, B string. So the notes we have are G, which is your 5th, root, and then 3rd degree. So we got 5th, root, 3rd. So we got C here, C, first inversion, and C, second inversion. So the best thing you want to do is you want to take these and try to get them in time, and then go backwards. Now when we do minor, what we want to do is we want to lower the 3rd. So this E, we want to lower that to, by half step, to what's called a minor 3rd. So instead of this, what we have for the root position, your E's here, you want to keep that C there. Then you want to put your your middle finger on the 4th fret, 2nd string, and then your index on the 3rd fret. So the only note that is changing is this E down a half step. Otherwise than that, it's, the same positioning. Now for your next one, this is kind of cool for your first inversion, is you want to still keep that bar that we did in the major triad, but because this is your E here, you want to move that down a half step. So all you need to do is bar, strings 3, 2, 1, and that would be on your 8th fret, and that would be your minor triad. So we got E flat, G, and C. E flat, G, and C. Now for this next one, usually most people know your D minor chord. You want to take that and go all the way up to the 12th fret again. So you want middle finger instead on the G string, 12th fret. Then you want your ring finger still where it usually is for the D major. Then we want to take your index from where it was before and play, instead of that note, you want to go down a half step and play that note. So, see how your middle finger is there? We're just flopping that up here. So this is the second inversion, minor triad. So we got G, C, and E flat. E flat would be the minor third. So, minor triad in root position would be C. So you got C, D, E. So that's our C, E, G. Sorry, that is our major triad. Now instead, because the third was here, you want to go minor and still keep the 5th. So we got C, E flat, G. So if we're taking part of the scale of the C major and making it minors, it'd be C, D, E minor, F, G, and then A flat, B flat, C. So you got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So that would be the C minor scale. But we're just taking the root, minor third, and 5th. Now for augmented, what we do is we keep the root, the 3rd, but we sharp the 5th. So we're moving the 5th up by half step. So for example, the first one here, if we have our C major triad here, C, E, G, okay, well G's your 5th. So you wanna move that up a half step. So the way I finger this is middle finger on the G string, ring finger on the B string, 5th fret, and because your G here, you want that sharped, you want to put that on the 4th fret, 1st string. It sounds really awkward and weird. So what's interesting too is about these is that technically you're just using the same shape. So this would be like a root position, C augmented. Then you go all the way up. Instead, you still want to keep that C there, but you have your E here. This was your normal G. That's your sharp G. And then here, you want to move all the way up to where your B string is, where that C was, and you want to do this. So you got your G sharp, which your G was here on the 12th fret. You want to move that up a half step. So you got G sharp, C, E. Now the next step is diminished. So what diminished is built on minor thirds. So we want to take the root, which would be C, then flat the 3rd, just like we're doing our minor triad. So keep that flat 3, and then what we do is we flat the 5th. So we flat that to a G flat. So this is kind of a weird one. You want your pinky on the 5th fret, 3rd string, ring finger, 2nd string, 4th fret, and then you want index finger on 1st string, 2nd fret. So you got, and then this can also be used in the same context as your augmented. And then we would just move this all the way up here. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we got this. And then here we go on. So it all kind of sounds the same. And then what you can also do is you can take your D major chord shape and just kind of invert it all. But instead we're going to use G diminished. So what this does is, here would be your root G, then your flat 5th would be D flat, and then you got your flat 3rd, which would be B flat. So you got G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So we want G, and then G, A, and then here was our B. You want that flat. So G, A, B flat, C, and then here's your D, which would be the 5th degree. You want that flat. So we got, sounds really odd. It's used in the Locrian mode. So we got that. So since your ring finger is the root on the high E, that would be your G diminished shape there. And then you want to go all the way up to the 8th fret, where your G here on the B string, 8th fret, would be your next root. And then here you want to go to the middle finger on the 3rd string, G, 12th fret. So we go on. So we got, and so on and so forth. So what I would work on is doing, your C major triads, and then try to get them in time, and then go to your minors, C minor, and then you can take the cycle of fourths. So for example, finding all your Fs in the closest inversion. So that would be, I'm going from there. So if we did B flat here, and then E flat, you could do, and then, oh, sorry, one sec. And then, there we go. There's the E flat. So yeah, that's where I would start there. And I also have PDFs available on my Google Drive. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and we'll see you in the next lesson.